Welcome to Sustainability Soundbites presented by E and E Leader. Sweden proposes 2028 PFAS ban on consumer products. Sweden's national PFAS proposal covers clothing, cosmetics, and cookware starting January 1st, 2028, arriving years before the broader EU-wide restriction is likely to take effect, and giving companies selling into Sweden a nearer deadline to plan around. Sweden's Ministry of Climate and Enterprise opened a formal consultation last month on national PFAS restrictions for select consumer products, with a proposed effective date of January 1st, 2028. The proposal covers clothing and footwear, waterproofing and impregnation treatments, cosmetics, ski wax, and select kitchenware, and comments are due November 30th. Sweden intends to withdraw the rule once equivalent EU legislation takes effect, but that transition has no fixed date, and the gap is the deadline companies selling into Sweden need to plan around now. The proposal would generally prohibit covered products at or above 25 micrograms per kilogram for an individual non-polymeric PFAS, 250 micrograms per kilogram for the combined sum of non-polymeric PFAS, and 50 milligrams per kilogram of total fluorine for the sum of PFAS. Those thresholds mirror limits already used elsewhere in European PFAS regulation. So for companies already preparing for the broader EU restriction, the calendar may end up mattering more than the chemistry. Total fluorine testing puts supplier traceability under scrutiny. Under the proposed approach, a total fluorine reading at or above 50 milligrams per kilogram would be presumed to come from PFAS unless a supplier can show the fluorine originates elsewhere. That puts new weight on traceability. A finished product company may not know whether fluorinated substances appear upstream in coatings, fabrics, or components, even if it never specified PFAS directly. Procurement records, chemical inventories, material specifications, and supplier declarations all become part of that evidence base, consistent with a wider pattern of state-level PFAS traceability requirements already reshaping supplier due diligence. Companies selling the same line into several European markets may find record-keeping harder to standardize as more countries move ahead of Brussels. Recycled content comes with its own documentation test. Sweden's proposal exempts clothing containing at least 20% recycled material, but only from post-consumer waste. Material recovered earlier in manufacturing would not qualify, so companies relying on the exemption need evidence of origin, not just content. Other exemptions cover personal protective equipment, its retreatment agents, and products already in use that remain fit for continued use or repair. No equivalent carve-out is proposed for kitchenware. A slower EU process leaves room for national rules. Sweden's move lands while the larger EU-wide PFAS restriction still works through review at the European Chemicals Agency, ECHA. The original proposal, submitted in 2023 by authorities from Sweden, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, and Norway, covers more than 10,000 PFAS across sectors, including textiles, cosmetics, food contact materials, ski wax, and other consumer products. ECHA's Risk Assessment Committee adopted its final opinion in March, and its Socio-Economic Analysis Committee has since agreed on a draft opinion supporting EU-wide action with targeted derogations. ECHA is expected to adopt its final opinion by the end of 2026, after which the European Commission would draft a restriction for member states to consider. France and Denmark have already put national PFAS rules in place, echoing a similarly uneven set of reporting deadlines, already creating new inspection triggers in the United States, where the EPA recently kept 2 PFAS drinking water limits while moving to rescind 4 others. For multinational companies, responding country by country each time another PFAS restriction appears is inefficient, and it leaves the same gaps that already trip up facilities during routine PFAS reporting. A more durable approach is a single product-level PFAS inventory built once and mapped against national requirements as they emerge, rather than a compliance program built around whenever the eventual EU-wide restriction finally takes effect. Are you aware we offer custom sponsorships for editorial categories? Send us a message to learn more or check out Amazon's current sponsorships with us. Thank you for listening.